Question 14. The table above lists the lengths to the nearest inch of a random sample of 21 brown bullhead fish. The outlier measurement of 24 inches is an error. Of the mean, median, and range of the values listed, which will change the most if the 24-inch measurement is removed from the data? So this is a statistics question, and it requires you to understand mean, median, and range, which I'm going to show you first how I'm going to do it on the SATs, which is really, instead of doing the math, just getting a feel for these numbers. So the mean is going to be an average, and what this data is going to end up looking like is that you're going to plot the length of fish to the number of fish. And I'm not actually doing this, I'm just picturing it in my head. I see a large cluster of numbers between 8 and 16 and 24 here. So I'm picturing a curve, a distribution that's going to look something like this, with 24 out by itself. So the mean, the average, whether or not I have this number in here, I think we're going to be somewhere in the middle here, and when we remove it, we're still going to be fairly close to the middle here. And as far as the median, we're looking for the middle of this set of numbers. So I see a large number of 12s, and they happen to be in the middle of the data set, so I'm pretty sure the median is going to stay right around here at 12. But the range, let's take a look at the range, which is the difference between the largest and smallest number. If we have the 24-inch measurement in here, then the range is 24 minus 8, which is 16. And if we remove it, it's 16 minus 8, which is 8. Now this represents a change of 8. So I think the answer to this one is going to be C, range. And now I'm going to go in depth explaining mean, median. I'm going to actually add mode and range, which are key statistics concepts to understand. Mean, median, mode, and range are going to be common in very common in statistics. So let's go with mean first. Mean is the average. So each of the numbers here is the length of a fish, and we want the average basically in inches per fish. So in order to do that, we're going to have to find the total number of inches and divide that by the total number of fish. So to get the total number of inches, we're going to add up all the values in this table. So how I have it set up here, we have 8 plus 3 9s, so 3 times 9, 2 10s, 2 11s, 4 12s, 3 13s, 2 14s, 2 15s, 16, and 24. And this would be the case where if I include the 24, that's going to be one average, and it asks which one of these will change if we remove this data set. So let me show you what I mean. So the mean with this measurement is the sum of all the numbers in this table, which is 262, divided by number of fish, which is given in the prompt, 21. So the mean with this measurement is 12.48. Now in order to calculate the mean without this measurement, I'm going to subtract 24 from this total because we are no longer using this number. And I need to subtract 1 from the total number of fish, because now we only have 20 fish left. And in this case, we have 238 total inches divided by 20 fish, so we have a new mean or new average of 11.9 inches. And the question is asking which one of these values will change the most. So in order to find the change, this is the Greek symbol delta. Delta is in math and science usually, or at least in science, means change. So the change in the mean is 11.48 inches minus 11.9 inches. So we have a change of 0.58 inches. Now let's find the change in the median. In order to do that, we have to find the median in both cases. So the median is the middle of a distribution of values. And what does that mean? Well, if we take all the values in this table and put it on a histogram, we would set it up something like this. You would draw your x and y axis and put the number of inches on the x-axis, and on the y-axis the number of fish that have each of these measurements. And the data would look something like this. You have 1 fish at 8 inches, 3 at 9 inches, 2 at 10, and so on. And the distribution of this would be a curve that would try to follow the shape of these data points. And the median is represented by the peak of this curve. Now, on the SATs, you want to save time, so you really don't want to make a histogram. So how else can we figure out the median? Well, we could take all of the data here and list it out in order on a line. And the median would be the middle of this set of numbers. So here we have 21 numbers, and the middle is going to be the 11th number, or 12. Now next, we have to get a second median, where we eliminate the measurement of 24 inches. And so now your median is going to fall here, between this number, because there's 20 numbers left, so we need to find the average of these two. And the average of 12 and 12, of course, is still going to be 12. So what did we just figure out? That the median in both cases is 12. Therefore, the change in median, or rather the median, doesn't change. Now they don't ask for mode, but let's go over it anyways. Mode is the most frequently occurring number. So going back to this list of numbers that we set up earlier, we see that the number that occurs the most times is 12. And regardless of whether or not you have this data point, you're still going to have 4 12s, or 4 fish at 12 inches, which is more than any other measurement. So the mode doesn't change. And finally, range. Let's figure out how much the range changes. So the range is the difference between the largest and smallest number. So going back to this list of data points that we set up earlier, we see that the range with the 24-inch measurement is going to be 24 minus 8, which equals 16. But if we eliminate this data point, then the range without is going to be 16 minus 8, or 8. So that means our delta range, or our change in range, is going to be 16 minus 8, which equals 8. How do we answer this question? Well, if we go back through each of the cases and write down how much each of these values changed, we have the mean, which changed by 0.58 inches, the median, which did not change or changed by 0 inches, and the range, which changed by 8 inches. So the value that changed the most, if the 24-inch measurement is removed, is C, the range.